Well, vacation wasn't bad. I went on up there to the historic area of Williamsburg, Virginia, and me and my girlfriend did the historical reenactment of colonial times thing. We did we wandered around a little bit, but mostly we did the witch trial thing where we participated in the trial of a witch. That was kind of fun and educational. And then we did Haunted Williamsburg, where we heard some very subjective stories with limited evidence and walked into some really cool old buildings, so that was neat. We learned a lot. Oh, we also did a pub crawl type thing where this awesome guy walked us around, and while he took us to places with some interesting local brews, he told us stories about how things were, about a boarding school for young Indian boys, and how there was so much animosity between the individual boys because they were from different tribes, and tribes don't always get along. Most of the time they hate each other. That was kind of interesting. He had a lot of historical insight. The dude really knew his stuff. He was fun to drink with and have him tell me about the historic elements of where we were, which was kind of the whole point of going to Williamsburg specifically. We also spent a couple days at another hotel further west where we went and did a cave tour, and I kind of made things mildly unbearable for my partner a couple of times because I just got overfilled with stimulation. I just started kind of shutting down and kind of vegged out for probably something close to like 2.5 days out of the week that we were there, and played computer games back in my hotel room, our hotel room. I have trouble reminding myself I'm in a relationship. But I think it was a net positive, and if my girlfriend enjoyed it half as much as I did, she had a blast too. I did have a great time. It was very overstimulating, and it was very daunting. I've never had that long of a period of time where I was just in other people's hands before, out of my comfort zone, outside of my familiar little crappy native town that I am currently recording this in. So it was exceedingly difficult for me, but I think it was worth it, and it was awesome. And I think I really do look forward to doing something very similar in the future, but not for any period longer than we were up there for. Maybe I'll be able to invest myself more fully next time. I don't know. So that was good. It was Saturday to Saturday, a week. We just got back Saturday night. This past weekend. It is Thursday now. So yeah. I vegged out Sunday. I vegged out part of Monday because I got sick. Apparently I got a bug up there, and I just had terrible sinuses with the runny nose and just not feeling great. So I did not immediately go back to Uber driving. I got back on it Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's my third night back. If there's something wrong with you and you're actually watching my channel, you know that I tried my luck at a tire shop for a corporate chain, and it went horribly. Because I just have this strong streak of contempt of authority, as well as I'm kind of retarded, so that didn't work out so good. I liked the work, and I mean, I really was a lot to me, and I experienced a ton of great things and unique singular experiences, and learned a ton about taking care of my own car while I was there. So I considered it a net positive, even though I only lasted for about 6 weeks. But I mean, I'm a failure. I mean, the playlist that you're watching this on, which again, what the hell is the matter with you, is called Diary of a Fraud. I wouldn't call myself a fraud if I didn't consider myself somewhat lacking insofar as the qualities of a decent human being. I fall short, I think. And I believe the proof is in the pudding. And the fact that I have a car note and a storage unit full of garbage and not much else to my name, with, I guess, arguably my girlfriend as the only person who gives a living shit whether I am alive or dead, and that I could not put a dozen people at my funeral, including the priests and the pallbearers, should tell you all you need to know that, yes, I'm indeed a failure. So, don't look down on me too much when I screw up. Just expect it and just accept it as kind of like the norm when I go through life, that I'm just going to screw things up. I'm going to fail. I'm going to drop the ball. I'm going to make the wrong choice when it matters the most. That's just kind of my MO. It's not what I want for myself. It's not the life I choose to live. It's just, I am this moron. And so I'm just out here making the most of it. I'm back to Uber driving full time. So it's going to be literally every day, at least through New Year's, to get all the money back for this damn vacation that I spent while still paying my bills. Because, I mean, I'm looking at like $1,400 a month, just static costs, not including feeding myself and fuel. You know, you got car insurance, you got the car payment itself, which is like an arm and a leg. It's like over $600 because the dealership took me for a ride and I let them because I'm stupid. And honestly, like, I don't need like government intervention. Like, I know how to pay my bills, don't get me wrong, and I know how to feed myself and groom myself. I'm not like that screwed up, but I'm also not that smart when it comes to paperwork and documentation. I'm terrible with the tax stuff, as many people are, but I'm especially terrible at it. And while I can pass the standardized test like a kid out in the rain, like, I'm terrible with paperwork. So when the dealership just like, oh, you need this, oh, you need that, I just assumed you need this, you need that. And so they really bent me over a barrel. I love my car. I don't want to just give up on my car and surrender it because screw those dealerships, which I do feel like that way. Like, I feel like screw those dealerships. That is in my heart. I hate dealerships, but I love my car. And if it's within my power, I'm going to work my butt off and pay this car off and drive it until it's not worth anything anymore. And it costs more to maintain than it is to replace it. Like, I like this car. This is an awesome car. It's not exciting to drive, but it's very reliable. It's very comfortable. It's got all the features I ever thought that I deserved, and then some I never thought I could have imagined having. And while it doesn't have everything I want, Toyotas are amazing. Toyotas are awesome. And if you find yourself with a Honda, you're not doing too bad either. Hondas and Toyotas are pretty awesome. Although if you're going to go a step up, Acura might be more fun, but I would say Lexus is the better choice long term. Like, if you're a grown-ass adult and you're looking for like a car that kind of tickles your butthole because you succeeded where I didn't, and you're doing that much better than me, I would go Lexus. They're not as performance driven as an Acura. Acuras are more sporty, but Lexuses have a little more comfort, and more importantly, Lexus is made by Toyota, and Toyota has this much more quality and this much more dependability than Honda or any other brand. I am a Toyota fanboy till death, and I won't get behind any of their electric vehicles, but I will say that even the hideous moped that we know as the Prius, like, I would never own one. I think they're the most ugliest thing in the world, but they're probably the most reliable car you can get your hands on. Like, you will drive this thing and drive it and try to drive it to death, and it'll just keep going. I fucking hate the Prius. And like a cockroach, you can step on it and it'll still survive. Go figure. But Toyota makes it, so are you really that surprised? I just wish that they didn't make it so god-awful hideous. I don't give a shit what trim level you're talking about. You're not looking cool in a Prius. You just aren't. You can't be cool in a Prius. But what I can tell you is you'll reliably get there every single time in a Prius. Even when everything else you could buy breaks down, the Prius will be getting you to work on time. So we're always going to make fun of Prius drivers, but we're also always going to kind of envy the reliability that they enjoy. And that's a complete off topic. I digress. So I'm back to driving Uber full time. I'm driving in my nice fancy XSE Camry. It's really slow this time of year, so I'm not doing much driving at all, and I'm actually, I think, ultimately losing money at this point because I'm just like, my overhead's like here and my earnings are like here. And ever since I got back from vacation, it's been pretty miserable. So I literally will be driving 7 days a week, somewhere between 9 and 14 hours a day, clocked in, living on call, not doing much during that time. I mean, dude, I clocked in Tuesday for 11 hours, like from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. And the overall driving time, like on app, like, oh, the amount of drive time you have left was like 7 hours, which means 5 hours out of 11 I was actually providing service to customers, which is kind of disgusting. And of course I was idling my car the whole time, which I actually have to replace my serpentine belt and spark plugs the next time I change my oil, because even though the mileage doesn't call for it, I've been running my car for hours and hours and hours in between ride requests because it's Florida. Although tonight it's been pretty nice, so I'm actually sitting here in my car off, and I think I need to kind of put my windows down after I stop recording this video, but I don't think I need to run my car to be comfortable waiting for a ride request. So yeah, I fucked up. I lost my tire shop job 6 weeks after I signed on, and I'm right back to Ubering, living on call fucking 60 to 80 hours a week, and I'm never going to succeed, and it sucks to be me. Good to see y'all again.